Today, I'm taking one versatile pattern, a French ruler, and AI to help me create a much requested pattern hack. Let's see how it goes. Before we get too far in today's content, I wanted to let you know that La Bella Donna is today's feature pattern. It is a really lovely dolman sewing pattern available in both ladies and girls sizing. And the ladies version, we're starting to offer something new for Feature Fridays. Again, a much requested item, and that is a pre-order for the printed pattern. Love Notions makes really great printed patterns. It's a new thing that we started offering last year, and we are now going to offer today's Feature Friday as an experiment to see how many people want this pattern in print, and you can add a print option to your selection today. You'll get the digital version right away, and then the pre-order will probably ship in the end of February. And our print patterns are offered in the contiguous United States. Today's content for the La Bella Donna Dolman feature comes from a hack request that I received from one of Love Notion's customers. She messaged me and said, she gave me this picture, and she said, Tessa, is there a way that you can show me how to create this hack? And with all of the talk about AI right now and how to use it and what's a good use for AI, I thought this would be a great place to experiment and see how well would AI do in helping us create these pattern hacks that we see. How reliable is it? How useful is it? What are some of the pitfalls that come with it, and what are some tips and maybe tricks that we can learn to use if we decide to use this new tool in our technology. Before we get too much further, I think it's important that I set the stage by telling you how I feel about AI. I honestly am of two minds with it. On the one hand, I kind of hate it. I think it's scary. I think it is, in some cases, unethical. I think that it causes a lot of problems. It causes our own skills to atrophy. We rely on it too much. Maybe we should be talking to other people instead of other computers. There's a lot of complicated feelings about AI. I don't like the way that it uses resources, and it will be potentially taking people's jobs. There's a lot of junky content that's created from AI that's slop. I think even this picture is AI created, and I don't like not being able to trust that something's real or not. I don't like listening to music and then questioning, was this created by a real person or not? So it just brings up a lot of complicated feelings for me, and overall I generally don't love it, but I also know that when it comes to new technologies and tools, we do need to learn to live in the world we're in, and AI is very much a part of the world we're in, and maybe we should adapt to use it in an ethical way that is actually helpful for us. So I've got conflicted feelings about it. And just to be fair, maybe we should talk about some of the ways that AI can be helpful for us as sewists. It could be helpful as a brainstorming partner, kind of as you're spitballing ideas, or if you need help with a quick lookup of something, a quick definition of something. I think there are ways to use AI in your sewing studio or your sewing space or in your sewing practice that make sense right now. I also think that when it comes to saving time and saving fabric especially, AI can be really helpful. But I don't want to dismiss how important it is to experiment. I think that's where most of the learning comes from when it comes to sewing. And I think that we often learn way more from our failures than we do from our successes. And that is going to make us better. That's true for anything. It's true for math and science and all of those other subjects. But it's also true for sewing, that the more we do of something and learn and grow, those opportunities are often disguised as failures, and we We have to appreciate that making a mistake or having an issue is a learning and building moment. So before we go too much further in, I think it's important to set some context about the AI strategies that I use that I think were helpful in my process here for this project. One thing to note about AI is that there's just tons of resources available. The resource that I used is ChatGPT. That is typically a free resource, but you can get a paid version. We use the paid version, which just has a little bit more capability because it's like a business version. There's lots of other kinds of AI services like Gemini or Grok or Copilot, but each one of those offers kind of like a different focus and it has a different kind of skill set. So again, you're probably going to need to do some experimenting if you plan to use AI in your sewing room. One thing I think is also important to know about AI is that your profile stays with the responses that the AI gives, that it builds on what it knows about you in order to shape its answers. So if I put a question into AI, it's going to look different than somebody who has a different profile than me. It kind of changes its answers based on time and who's asking them. It also can adapt to your profile and the requests that you put into it in terms of how you want the answers laid out for you. One thing that a lot of the AI services do is flatter. There is a ton of flattery that happens, and I don't really think it's very useful for most people because it's really like a lot of fluff and just it's not true. So I think a lot of people can go in and tell their AI, I don't want you to flatter me. I want you to just give me the answer as succinctly and directly as possible. You can also make your responses from the AI, you can make them structured in a way. You can say, I don't want to have any extra fluff. You don't need to give me a preamble. You can just get right to the point, give me straight, direct answers. And you can even talk about like what kind of tone you want. And it also, I think, is helpful for your profile if you say what level of sewist you are, what your experiences have been. You can even upload pictures to tell them the kind of things that you've worked on and the projects that you've done. And so you can fully build out a profile that they can then answer in a way that respects that profile that you've built. I also think before we start anything, it's really important to know that AI hallucinates. It makes stuff up. It tells lies. It can very easily not trick you, but it can tell you things that are not true just because it knows that that's what you want to hear. So that's really important to know as someone who might be unfamiliar with AI, is that this is not a verifiable source. You cannot trust everything it says, and you have to verify. And I also think it's really important how you format your prompts. In fact, there's a new job out there in the world right now, and it's called a prompt engineer. And these are people who work on creating prompts for the AI services that get you closer to what you want. And then this has come a long way in the development of AI, but making your prompt as complete as possible for the AI service is really, really important. Okay, so now let's talk about how I used this inspo pic and this prompt to help me get a pattern hack tutorial for this requested project. So what did I think about this? Well, first of all, the tutorial that they gave me was not what I wanted. They thought that the ridges on these on the model picture, they thought that those were seams. And so they basically told me how to color block. Well, I already know how to color block, and I think the issue here is that they cannot fully understand what this visual looks like. You can clearly see if you look at it that this fabric has been folded or pleated, and the AI service can't really understand that. They couldn't pick that up on that. So that was a major problem, but it did give me a prompt it did give me a tutorial for color blocking and using those asymmetrical lines that I decided to go with. And actually, I think this is one of the places where you can be flexible and use this as a brainstorming partner, because I then decided to make a shirt for the upcoming Bears game. If you didn't know, the Bears are in the NFC playoffs or the division something or other. I'm not really sure what the title of the game is, but I am very excited that the Chicago Bears are playing another game in the postseason. And so I decided to make a color blocked La Bella Donna using some of those design lines from the inspiration pick, as well as some orange and blue fabric. So let me show you how that turned out. I'm actually really happy with it, but AI had very little to do with that. So how cool is this? I'll try that on for you and you can see how it looks on me here. I'm gonna wear this with pride at the upcoming game on Sunday. I think they're playing the Rams and I am going to be decked out and ready to support my team. I would say, as far as my verdict about AI in this particular first example case, that its response was not what I wanted. It was a good brainstorming place, but it just couldn't interpret what the picture was or what my prompt was. It gave basically the same amount of information that we have on any of the color blocking tutorials that we've ever generated here at Love Notion. So it wasn't better or worse than any of those. It just was the same information, which I already knew how to do, which is to add in those lines, add in seam allowances for those cut lines, and then sew those things together, keeping the grain lines the same. And that's exactly what I did. It did help me to visualize those asymmetrical lines, which was nice, but not a lot useful was happening there, and besides that. Okay, now let's talk about make number 2, and this is if the first version is my bear down La Bella Donna version, then this is gonna be my floral fun La Bella Donna. So here is the inspiration picture and the prompt that I gave to ChatGPT in order to achieve this look. Essentially what we did in this version was we added an extra 1/2 inch to the center front of La Bella Donna, which was super easy to do because I simply pushed, instead of lining the fabric up on the fold, the paper pattern piece onto the center front fold, I just pushed that back about 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch or whatever it was, and I cut from there. So it was very, very easy to add in an extra 1/2 inch, and then I just used those same asymmetrical lines to mark the fabric on the reverse side. I then ironed it so that when it was right sides together, and then got that nice crease, and then I used that crease, flipping it over wrong sides together, to pin everything and press everything in place, and then took it over to the machine. Did I need AI to do this? No, not at all. I don't know that AI was super helpful other than confirming what my plan already was. I did actually kind of question whether I needed to add extra width to this. This is a really forgiving fit piece. The fabric that I was using is a very thin, drapey fabric. I didn't really think I needed a lot of extra width there. And even it was just such a negligible amount that what AI told me to do in its response was pretty basic. But I could see how, if I was a little bit less experienced and had never done something like this before, I could see how this would be extremely, extremely useful for someone who has no clue where to start. And I also think that some of the suggestions that they gave were actually inaccurate. They said I could use Ponte for this, and unless it was an extremely lightweight drapey Ponte, I don't think it would have worked well. They said I could use Liverpool, maybe, but I still think that's a little thicker of a double knit kind of fabric than I would use. And I also think that some of the things that they told me, as far as technique, I didn't really use their suggestions either. What I did was take that as a starting point and then experiment myself. So one of the things that really helped me as I was sewing those ridges was doing a test and sample fabric myself. That was something they didn't say to do, which I think is a mistake. I think that they should have said you need to test your fabric and your thread and your needle and the tension and make sure that it's right. So in the end, what I did do on my machine after lots of sampling and testing on a scrap piece of fabric was I used a 4.5 stretch stitch on my machine, and I actually lowered the tension down to like a 1 or a 2. And I think that really, really helped to avoid any stretching or waviness and keep everything in line and nice and flat. I also think it was really important to have that seam allowance be exactly the same throughout, and I feel really good about how that happened. And I think if I had used a thicker fabric, it wouldn't have worked out well at all. So I think having this like drapier fabric that's not slippery, but that is just a little thinner was really important. And it didn't really talk about that too much. One thing they did say was to use a stretch stitch, and that was helpful. That was really helpful to think about, but it didn't give me like the length or the width that I should be aiming for. So that was coming from experiments on my own. So here is my results, and I am really, really pleased with this. I think that if you compare this original inspiration picture to my final make, I think that we got it. I would say that in terms of AI being helpful for this, I would say like, I don't know, I would give it like a 70%. Like it was a great place to start and think, but it didn't end up giving me a lot more than I already knew. A lot of the stuff that they put into the response was distracting. It was flattery. There was like a lot of fluff in there that was not useful for me, and in some cases was inaccurate. And I also think that it kind of over-engineered a little bit. Like it made it more complicated than it needed to be by adding in more complicated formulas for adding in width, and I'm not even sure that I needed that extra width. So I guess another experiment would be to do same kind of fabric, same exact technique, but change it so that I didn't add in the extra width and see what I end up with. But the great thing about La Bella Donna is that it is a pattern that is so forgiving when it comes to fit that it really wouldn't make a difference, I don't think. That is how I created 2 new hacked La Bella Donnas using AI. Make sure that you get your hands on this La Bella Donna pattern. It is a complete classic, and for the first time ever, we're offering a pre-order for the print version. So get your hands on that as soon as possible. All the links and everything you need to know is in the description box below, and I need to know your response to this. Was this a waste of time? Was this, did it make you feel weird to have AI being involved in sewing? What do you think about this entire process? Have you used AI with success in your sewing? I want to hear about it down in the comments below. All right, I'll see you next week, and I hope that you're having a great start to your year with lots and lots of sewing. Bye.